Hey guys, so I'm Kedar Soman from Plugin India, and I'm here today with Mr. Peter Baldwin, who is working with Government of Western Australia, India office. So hello, Mr. Baldwin, it's nice to have you here.
Nice to be here, very nice to be here, thank you.
Just to briefly introduce Plugin India, Plugin India is a company that is a media company focused on promoting electric vehicles in India. Our mission is to accelerate the adoption of electrical mobility in India, and we are engaged in several things. We are engaged with community. We have several user groups. We are, they act as a support system for a person who has just purchased electric vehicle. And then we are working with companies, we are working with government, and helping companies to set up the operations in India if they're abroad, and if they're here, help them find technology partners. So overall, everything we do is to spread electric vehicles in India. So Mr. Baldwin, I just overheard a few things about your activities, and they sounded really impressive. Can you give us a little more detail about what you are doing here and your organization is doing here?
Yeah, sure. So Western Australian Government has a trade and investment office based in Mumbai, and we've been here for more than 20 years, had a presence here for 20 years. Myself, I've only been here 3 years, but loving India and loving the chaos that is India. But so the main reason we're here is to try to attract investment into Western Australia, or trade from Western Australia to India. And so the reason that we're here at this summit is because we think that we can help with the quest that, similar to your magazine is with promoting electric vehicles, because a lot of the resource for the batteries is available in Western Australia, and we think we're a logical partner for India in its quest to become all electric by 2030.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge.
It's a very big challenge, and that's good to hear. Let me just ask you one little generic question. What is your general idea about the growth projections of electric vehicles in the world in, let's say, next decade, and then maybe more specifically in India?
Yeah, sure. Look, I've done a bit of research for this thing, and I've seen some quite amazing growth predictions. Bloomberg, I think, had predictions from 2016, which they updated in 2017. And their final figure, I think, and I can't remember the number, but it was 400% more than what they'd predicted, in 20 years' time. So I think the global growth is going to be phenomenal. It's an imperative for a lot of reasons. And here in India, there are a number of obstacles that need to be overcome, but I'm sure with the right policy settings that can be achieved. And as I said, we want to be a partner for supplying the basic resource for that achievement.
Great. And as you were just making a comment before about lithium availability, we have lots of user forums, and oftentimes the question comes, on those forums about if India goes all electric, then are we just substituting one type of dependence, that is oil dependence, on another type of dependence, that is lithium dependence, because India doesn't have that many lithium resources as such. So it looks like Australia has a lot of lithium resources.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What are the opportunities there for India and Australia to join hands, and what can happen there?
Sure. Well, Australia, and Western Australia particularly, is one of the most investment-friendly environments in the mining sector. It's always ranked among the world's top in ease of investing and ease of doing business in the mining sector. And so, for example, Chinese companies own mines, lithium mines, outright. They're investing billions of dollars in lithium processing already there. And India should be doing the same, I think. I'm sure India has lithium resources here, but there are so many factors that make it very difficult to get mines happening. The population pressures are significant. So I think it's logical for India to look to Western Australia in particular, because we are a low sovereign risk country. Some of the resource of lithium comes from I think Argentina is promoting its lithium resource here in India. The lithium there, apart from it being twice the distance away than Western Australia, so the transportation is significant. Currently, inflation in Argentina is running at 100% or something. It's quite an unstable environment. So, you know, Australia offers a lot of stability, a lot of connectivity. You know, we're 2.5 hours time difference in Western Australia to India. So, you know, we have so much similarity, and I think because of that, we're a logical partner. You know, the risks in some of the other countries that supply battery minerals, for example, cobalt, the majority of that comes from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Very high risk environment with child labour issues and things. So we have, and I'll be presenting tomorrow, we have a strong mineral wealth in all of the key battery minerals, and we think it's time for India to come and invest, come and join some of the technology research and partnerships that we're building around battery technology, and to essentially, you know, help produce their own battery cells from a reliable resource that they can actually own outright, whole mines. So I think there's a real opportunity.
That's true. I think that looks like a really interesting opportunity. Now, I mean, in your opinion, what is the roadblock? What is stopping that opportunity from being realized? Is that some uncertainty on policy? Is that some technology issues or some communication?
Yeah, look, I think it's around probably the policy settings. There has been the statement by Modi ji that you know, we'll have all electric vehicles by 2030. Right. I guess there's a lot of scepticism about how achievable that is. Right. But there needs to be very clear targets and frameworks in between those times. And, you know, cell production within India will, you know, the companies will only make that commitment to bring that technology in if they're very clear that there is going to be the growth in the market that they need for that. That's true. So those additional policy settings need to be made. There's a gentleman from Niti Aayog who's here. I hope to talk to him about, you know, when they might come, when those policies might come. And in the meantime, really, the Indian government, I think, needs to also secure the basic mineral resource. Start looking at that. Right. And that can easily be done. The National Mineral Development Corporation, a government-owned entity, has investment in Western Australia looking for gold and iron ore and manganese. They can extend that very easily to opportunities in the battery mineral space. And they can fully own and operate those mines. They wouldn't be then subject to the market forces that may be buying processed lithium out of China, processing facilities might be, that offer risk. So, you know, it can really be a wonderful standalone partnership story. So that's what I want to try to encourage.
That sounds really good idea. And let me just ask you one question for which often, you know, online we find like a spectrum of answers. According to your opinion, and since you are very much into that field, you are, you know, expert in this field, do you ever foresee a situation where the world does not have enough lithium to make electric cars?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I think there will always be enough.
In my presentation tomorrow, you'll see the amount of lithium resource that there is available, and you know, most of it at very, very readily extractable prices and locations near ports. If there is shortages, sure, prices may go up, but you know, I think there's a very, very little risk of that. The lithium resource is very significant. It may be some of the perhaps newer or even better battery technologies rely on much less available products such as platinum or the like, but even then, you know, there's always evidence that once a price of a commodity goes up, exploration increases and the resource is proven up more. So I don't really see that as a risk. And in addition to that, I'm sure battery recycling technologies, the re-extraction of the lithium from spent batteries will also ensure that, you know, that's no concern.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. And you know, it's really good to meet you at this EV Summit. I've been hearing some talks and lectures. It's been really great. A lot of good information. What is your impression about the summit here?
No, look, it's been really interesting already, and I'm looking forward to having some one-on-one interaction with some of the key policy makers in this field. Sometimes people aren't aware perhaps how easy it is to invest in Australia. For example, outside of the battery technology field, often people in India are surprised that they could invest in a uranium mine. They could own a uranium mine in Western Australia and export that product here to India. So, we've got a very free jurisdiction, and we've got massive mineral wealth, and, we're 80% of the size of India. We've got 2.4 million people in Western Australia alone, 80%, almost as big as India. So there's a lot of space to find the minerals and to bring them out and get them here. And, I just want to build awareness for Indian people in that space. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin. Thanks for all that
thanks
information.
So much.